Hi everyone, Sarah here. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this tag. It was for the January 2026 monthly challenge with the theme Frosted Dreams. And here in the UK we're definitely getting these shimmery, shiny mornings with frost and these really gorgeous dark skies with glimmers of stars. So I made this on a tag that I created myself using some multifarious card. And my rule of thumb, as it were, for making my own tags is the height is double the width. So this one is 15 centimetres high and 7.5 centimetres across, although you can make whatever size you fancy. This fits brilliantly, this red pine, the large red pine stamp, which is one of my favourite trees. So let's get making. Now I've already cut myself a piece of multifarious card measuring, as I say, 15 by 7.5 centimetres. And for this sample, I think I had a bit of purple left on my stencil brush. Now, I do like it when the girls all have their stencil brushes, all different colours, and they look just gorgeous all together in a jar. So I built up my collection. I did start with one that I just used with all colours, and I just give them a bit of a clean. Every now and again, I wash them, that's been washed, and leave them to dry, and I try my best to keep them close to their colour range. Only I think I got, I mean you can tell they kind of all come a bit similar, but I think I got a bit mixed up with this one and it had a bit of purple on, but I really liked it. And I think that's one of the serendipitous moments. You'll see that when I'm using my stencils, and it's what happened here. So to recreate that, I added in some violet chalk, but I'm going to start with Della Blue, and the Midnight Blue is that gorgeous deep colour at the top. So like I say, I'm going to start with my Della Blue right in the middle, and because I splashed this with water to get those patches, you can get away with a lot with this. You know, you don't need a lot of evenness, as it were, but if you've got a well inked pad and using the smooth multifarious, it's going to move quite well anyway. So I'm using my brush until it's hardly got any ink left on, because I want this kind of blended section. And like I say, I'm going to add in some of that violet chalk because I just really liked it. So I'm going to now I've wiped a bit off, I'm going to just use it quite gently, and I'm going to go from the darker bit down because I don't want a huge amount of this, but I did really like it. So let's add it in, and then I'll just add a bit more at the top of that blue, and then we can finish off with that Midnight Blue at the top. Now this is really dark. In fact, I think I need a bit of more of that Della Blue going up there first, because that dark one is mainly just at the top. I know we've mixed it together there, but like I say, it's a sky and we're going to splash water on it, so it really doesn't matter. We're also going to add some spark with some of that gorgeous Drop of Shimmer ink. So there we go, there's our frosty sky. And then we need our red pine. I thought I had a long enough block, but I couldn't put my hands on it, so I'm using this one diagonally, which just shows you can adapt these things. I'm stamping this with Twilight. I think it just showcases this this tag, how much you can really do just with one stamp. There we go, there's our 3 pines. I'm going to grab my water spray, and I'm kind of off camera, but I'm just going to mop it off. Now the longer the water stays on there, the more it's going to bleach the ink, and the more water you put on, you can get it to kind of drip a little bit, which I think just gives it a really lovely effect down here. Let's spritz a bit up there again. I'll mop it off with our kitchen roll. I'm going to spritz a bit more water at the top here, and I'm going to use my heat dryer just to get that tag nice and dry. There we go. I'm just going to do my punching while I think about it. I'm eyeballing that to make a hole for my thread, as it were, although I used the handle from a Lavinia Stamps bag because that's all I had to hand, but I really quite like the texture. And then a corner rounder, whatever corner round you use, just make sure you get it right, parallel with both of those sides. It just finishes it off nicely. Then I'm using the Mangaka white pen to add my snow, but you could use a fine Posca or a gel pen. Now I'm imagining that my snow or my frost has come from this direction, so it's going to be on that side of the tree trunk, and it'll be on both branches on both sides, but just popping it on the right side of the trunk. There we go, now frosty branches. I'm going to add some of the Mica Minerals white sparkle to the bottom here, and finish off really with splashing the Drop of Shimmer. Now this goes everywhere, as we know, and I'm still sparkling after making this, but in my book you can never have too much glitter, so there we go. I'm just going to basically smear my glue around the bottom here. Now I'm using Bippity Boppity. I'm going to get rid of that paper. Ooh. Because I'm going to sprinkle this and not talk so it doesn't go everywhere. Can you see all that? It's got such a fine glitter in here. I mean, it makes brilliant sparkling sprays, but it also does go everywhere. It's added itself to the night sky. So there we go. I'm going to get my glitter version of Drop of Shimmer. Now again, if you don't have this, although, I mean, I know it's expensive, I was going to say, if you've not, I don't know why, because it's just the most brilliant stuff. Although you do need to use it up though, because if you leave it, don't use it, then it kind of almost evaporates. So get using it if you've got some, and really enjoy it, because it gives you such a fabulous amount of sparkle. But again, if you're good at splashing with Poscas, you can use that. I'm not. So let's pop that away. And then I'm just going to finish it off with some sentiment words. Which I put to the, I was going to say put to the side, no, I'm not sure where I put them. What should we have on this one? I used Wish and Dream on the previous one. Shine Brightly is rather lovely, isn't it? Now don't forget that you can cut these up if you want to. You don't have to use it all in one stretch. I had them slightly wonkily so that, because if I tried to line it up and it was even the slightest bit of millimetre out, I would notice it, it would drive me mad. So I put them wonky deliberately. So there we go, our Frosted Dreams tag. And like I say, add a bit of a, that's a handle of a Lavinia Stamps bag stapled in, or some thread to add some sparkly or like appropriate thread in there. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you make one of your own. I'd love to see it. Thanks for joining me.